Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Joe CP back here again with another video. And today I'm going to be breaking down basically every single man beater in the game for the most part, in terms of, routes that you guys can audible, even hot route master routes, and even a couple of routes that don't, including abilities that beat man to man. So this is kind of just like a man beating tutorial, the cover one robber tutorial of all tutorials. Just beforehand, make sure to go ahead and like the video before you guys go ahead and do so. It's at the bottom of the screen. Also, make sure to comment if you guys want any other type of tips, and make sure to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the tips. I'm also going to go ahead and put my Twitch in the chat where I go ahead and stream every single day. When this video is posted, I should be live, so you guys can go over, slide over there. I'm also going to put my Typeflex ebook if you guys want to go ahead and do that. If you guys are struggling on offense or need a new offense, Typeflex is perfect for you guys. So I'm going to drop the ebook link down in the chat if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. But yeah, so today I'm gonna be breaking down every single cover one robber man beater for the most part. Number one, just to start off, I traded Michael Thomas over here. Reason being, I traded Michael Thomas over to this team because he has route technician. So basically, I want to break down just all the different abilities receiver-wise that's good versus man-to-man, so you guys can have a couple of different choices. I'm gonna show you guys what it does versus man-to-man as well, so you guys kind of know what you guys are getting into. So just to start off, route technician. Route technician's definition is it makes the cut quicker. It defines the cut of your receiver at the top of the route. So if you guys see right there, Michael Thomas, where he cuts on the corner route, he's going to light up. Now that more than likely is where you want to go ahead and throw that corner route right at the break, just because that's where he's going to light up, and that's when route technician is going to take effect. And I'm going to show you guys right here just for example, and I'll show you guys what happens if you don't run a guy right there that doesn't have route technician. But that's why a lot of people are running route technician right now. You get that separation in the cut in the first couple of steps, and that was on Marlon Humphrey. You guys have to remember, this is on somebody that has some abilities. He's a star. He has good stats. So it's not like it was just a random guy. As I'm going to show you guys right here. He goes ahead and toasts him immediately right in the cut with route technician. Um, so that's why route technician is so good. That's why a lot of people like to use it. I'll show you guys another example at the top of the route again. So let's just show you like in route right here. You see he cuts right there on the dime. So because of that, the routes that you usually beat man coverage with, so like an out route, are going to be way better on Michael Thomas than Mike Evans, right? So let's just say I put Mike Evans on an out route. He may get open, right? He probably will get open, but he's not going to cut like route technician is. He's not going to cut at the top of his route. He's not going to get as much separation. Now he's going to catch this ball probably because he's Mike Thomas. He's Mike Evans versus Jimmy Smith. But in general, is he going to get more separation and a better cut than Mike Thomas? No. So whoever you have that needs to get a more crisp cut, whatever guy that you need to get more separation on, in terms of your playbook, whatever routes you think, corner routes, out routes, just in general, the receiver that's getting manned up and you feel like is really getting bagged, it's going to be a very, very good thing if you guys get either Slot-O-Matic or route technician. Now you guys are like, yo, Joe, you're just talking about route technician, so what's Slot-O-Matic? Well, Slot-O-Matic is the other thing that's very, very, very good. The other ability, receiver ability that's very good in beating man-to-man. And that's what Chris Godwin has. So as you guys can see, Mike Thomas has route technician, which is quicker cuts while running routes. And Chris Godwin has better cuts and catching on short slot routes. So the way to balance it, Slot-O-Matic is not route technician on crack. It's not just as good as route technician. It doesn't register on every single thing. So for example, if I put Chris Godwin on a comeback route, right? He's not going to get route technician on the break of the comeback route because it's not a short slot route. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. You see? So he's right on him. Actually picks him off right there in Marcus Peters because he doesn't have route technician, he only has Slot-O-Matic. So if it's not a short route, it doesn't really matter. But if I put Chris Godwin on a zig, watch him light up right here. Well, I mean, I don't know why he didn't. Oh yeah, you see how I don't know why they don't light up in like when they beat man coverage. But you saw right there how he lit up when he caught the ball and how he got better separation on the zig. Like not only is our zigs good in terms of beating man to man, but on top of that, because he has Slot-O-Matic, it didn't light up. But as he caught it, it lit up, showing that Slot-O-Matic worked on that play it activated. So just in general, in terms of picking your abilities, it depends. I've seen a lot of people ask me, yo, Joel, like, why do you use this? Why do you use route technician instead of Slot-O-Matic? What's better? Why does Henry use Slot-O-Matic instead of route technician? It depends on the scheme. If you're running a bunch, offset. You usually want to use Slot-O-Matic instead of route technician. Why? Because there's a lot of routes that you don't need super cuts on. Slot-O-Matic makes it easier for people to run bunch also because you have two guys that count as the slot-o-matic guy. And, that's where the primary routes are. So, I mean, that's just when people ask me, yo, what's the difference between slot-o-matic and route technician? Which one should I pick? Which one is better? Which one is the best ability? It just depends. It depends on the scheme. It depends on your team. It depends on what you're trying to run. And if it fits you. If you're running like a spread and the two inside guys, the two slot guys, those are your man-beating guys. Those are the guys that you need. You put on zigs, you put on other stuff. You need them to beat. You depend on them to beat stuff. Then, bam, you put those guys on slot-o-matic. You put the outside guys on longer routes for a route technician as well. So it really just depends. So with that just being said, I just want to break that down for you guys because, it matters a lot. Again, I'll show you guys. I have Hot Route Master on Brady, and that's the next thing I'm going to get into. But Hot Route Master, you see I can put a corner route on him. If you guys didn't know with Hot Route Master, you guys can put the 4 different routes to the right, right? So you have the streak, the out, the curl, and the in. You have the fade, the zig, the drag, and the slant. But on this next box, you have the cross, the corner, the post, and the stop and go. And it says superstar at the bottom. That's going to let you guys know, it's going to notify you guys that you guys can only get that with Hot Route Master. Now, the only person that has Hot Route Master right now is Dan Marino. But in general, in regs, you can get it on people in CFM. It just depends on if you get them the field general archetype. And if not, then Tom Brady has it in regs. So, just to break that down, that's how people get more extra routes. I know a lot of people have been asking me about that and just in general are wondering. So, you see that Mike Evans corner route, it's because I used the corner route hot route, which is triangle, square, and then left on the D-pad. Now, I'm going to show you guys right here. He's going to get open off the cut, but when Michael Thomas is on that corner route, he gets even more open because he's going to light up because he has route technician. Let me show you guys real quick. So you see Michael Thomas, it's already a good corner route, and then he kills him because of route technician. And the only reason why he's even close is because he's Marlon Humphrey, who's the best cornerback on their team. So that's another reason why people either use route technician or Hot Route Master just to make it even better for your team, honestly. Now breaking down the routes that beat man-to-man, there are a lot of routes that beat the man-to-man. I feel like man-to-man honestly has been getting shredded as of lately. A lot of people are starting to figure out different things that beat man-to-man, and especially with new receivers, better receivers coming out. I feel like man-to-man is starting to get a little bit easier to beat. Number one, you can start off. Let me just start off with the routes that you can hot route between the the 8 hot routes that you get automatically, the default hot routes, and then I'll show you guys with the superstar hot routes, right? So, clearly corner routes or route tech work, out routes with route tech work, stuff like that works to beat man, you know what I mean? But other things that beat man, zigs, you know what I mean? Let me show you guys. Like a zig is gonna beat man to man. Now, the reason why Michael Thomas was so smothered on that play, like gravy on turkey, literally, is just because he got bumped. So you see he gets bumped twice right there, but he still beats him. I would say zigs work about 70 to 80% of the time, but a good route runner and slot-o-matic, it can work almost 100% of the time. So like someone like a Mark Clayton and Mutt, yeah, as you guys can see, the zig kind of gets open right there. He caught that. I probably should stop running versus Marlon Humphrey because this dude is just sniffing Michael Thomas's butt. But even on Mike Evans, you don't need a receiver that needs superstar abilities to go ahead and get zigs open. So I run zigs. I feel like zigs are really, really good. A lot of people run zigs, not just me. I feel like zigs. There's at least There's at least one zig on almost all of my rock combos. And the reason why behind that is because right now, with how the rat catches are compared to last year, they brought back kind of like a Madden 17 feel with the rat catches, which are still rat catches. Now, if you guys were wondering what those are, it's when you point your left stick in the direction that you want your receiver to go ahead and run after you rat catch. With that being said, flats are really good versus zone. All the things, like a lot of things are really, really good versus zone this year. So because of that, I always keep a zig on the field anyway because it's another way to go ahead and clear out zone coverages. On top of getting a decent amount of yards if somebody's running like a purple or something like that. So zigs is one of my favorite routes that I like to run versus man coverage. The next route that I like to run versus man coverage is motion slants. Motion slants are always going to be good in the game. You can motion them from either side of the formation, but just in general, when you're putting somebody in motion, it's always going to give man a harder problem. And especially right now, just because EA came out with a patch, right? Because a lot of people were learning how to like people were learning out. I don't know why I can't hype this on the motion. I don't know what is wrong with this game right now, but EA came with a very very big patch in terms of man beating because trips and U trips used to have a glitch where you can motion. So now because of that, the receivers kind of take a second. Not my fault. Not the receivers. The DBs take a second to track them in man coverage when you're motioning from one side to another. So because of that, a lot of motion routes are actually very, very good this year. Better than they even were beforehand. Just because you see how long it takes for that DB to run across the field. Sometimes it just gives Chris Godwin extra separation. As you guys can see, also Slot-O-Matic lit up right there. So with that being said, motion slants, zigs are very, very good. Motion zigs, if anyone's wondering, yes, motioning the zig is going to make it way better. Just because, just in general, any type of motion is going to make it better. You see the motion zig gets it wide open every single time. So a motion zig, if your zigs aren't 110% getting open. All right, next thing. Motion in routes are really, really good. If you motion in routes, they're very, very good too. I don't use them as much as slants just because you should use motion in routes with Route Technician and Slot-O-Matic for the most part. You shouldn't use it with anything else. Just because not only are they going to light up right there, but they're going to get better separation. And if they don't get better separation, well, I mean, that's not true. They're going to get better separation. It's just simple, right? The only time they're not going to get better separation is if you have normal receivers. But if you have a Slot-O-Matic or Route Technician, they're always going to get some sort of separation on it. Alright, the next thing I want to show you guys for man beating routes is what a lot of people have been running out of the backfield with the running back, and it's going to be an option route. An option route is very, very good in this game, and all you guys have to do is just do triangle, R1, and then L2. And what the option route is going to do versus man-to-man, and I came on a random play. This is not man-to-man, so let me go ahead and show you. I got a dime. So again, triangle, R1 or RB, and then L2, which is the left bumper, well, the deep left trigger. And R1 is basically just going to go ahead and get to the outside. And an option route, right? So if you guys are wondering, because I know it looks like a curl, because it can be a curl. An option route, it depends on what zone, if it's either, excuse me, God. It depends on what coverage it is. It's either man-to-man or zone, right? So for example, you see right here, there's a curl route. That's for zone, and the little fading out route is for man. So we know that versus man every single time, the option route is going to give us the out route, and that's good because the running back is just going to box out the guy and usually get open, especially versus linebackers, and especially if you have backfield mismatch. So that's why I like option routes as well. That's why a lot of people like option routes right now, just because, especially with good running backs, you're going to have a speed advantage versus safeties. So usually you're going to get open in general. That's why people like to put like Barry or Bo Jackson on option routes because they're so hard to stop. All right, another route that's very, very good versus man-to-man, and this is where we're going to start getting into the hot route master stuff. Clearly the hot route master corner and post are open. Even if you don't have Route Technician or Slot-O-Matic, the post are still going to get open. You don't even need a good route runner. But more importantly, the thing that everyone's been killing people out of is man-to-man, and it doesn't matter if it's a crosser that's hot route master or a normal crosser. But these type of crossers have been killing man-to-man. I don't know the reason behind it. I think it's because they don't get pressed. I think that's the reason why, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, these crossers are really, really good right now. In general, you don't need anything for it at all. You don't need any Route Technician. You don't need any Slot-O-Matic. It's not going to make it better. You want straight speed for the crosses, and the crosses are very, very, very lethal. Like, very lethal. Now, you see, of course, Mike Thomas lit up on the Route Technician on the crosser, so it does make it better. But in general, I do not believe that that's the sole reason why the crossers are really, really good. So I'm going to show you guys here again. It doesn't really matter. Clearly, the Route Technician helps, but man-to-man is going to get killed by the crosser. So that's most of the routes that people have been running. The last route that I can show you guys is people have been throwing curl routes when they first break. Now, I'll advise you, I wouldn't do this if you guys have Lamar and Mutt. I would do this if you guys have someone with higher throw power like Dan Marino. Dan Marino, who has set feet lead, just because he's going to zip the ball in quicker. But just in general, turnaround curl routes are very, very good in this game. It's very, very hard for man to stop. Now, if you don't throw it right on the curl, like let's just say he's sitting there for a second, it is still a very, very good thing to call. and throw, especially if you have Dan. For the most part, it's actually impossible to pick those off if you have Dan, just because of how fast he's going to go ahead and throw the ball, and the DBs aren't going to go ahead and react. Yeah, but hopefully this video helped you in terms of being man to man. I just gave you guys a bunch of different routes. Next time I can even give you guys combo if you guys drop some more tip ideas down in the comments down below. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.